Your heart is racing. You're standing in a doorway, about to walk into a room full of people who are already talking. Every face feels like a test you haven't studied for. You want to disappear, but the real answer for why you feel this way is far stranger than "you're just shy." That racing heart isn't a flaw. It's a 50,000-year-old alarm system. And it wasn't built to embarrass you. It was built to keep you alive. Picture a small band of early humans on the African savanna. Maybe 30 people, maybe fewer. There is no police force, no hospital, no grocery store. There is only the group. If the group feeds you when you're sick, you live. If the group turns its back on you, you die within weeks. Not figuratively, literally. Anthropologist Sarah Blaffer-Hrdy has spent decades studying what she calls cooperative breeding in early human societies. Her research shows that human infants required so much care from so many adults that survival itself depended on a web of relationships stretching far beyond a single mother and father. Aunts, grandmothers, unrelated group members. Everyone had to stay in everyone else's good graces because everyone eventually needed everyone else. So think about what that means for your brain. If being rejected by the group could kill you, then your brain needed a way to detect the earliest signs of rejection. Long before you were actually cast out. Long before anyone said a word. That early warning system is social anxiety. It's the same machinery your ancestors used to scan a fire circle. Who's frowning at me? Who's not making eye contact? Did I say something wrong? Am I about to be the one left behind on the next hunt? Psychologist Leary and Kowalski developed what's called the sociometer theory in the 1990s. The idea is simple, but it changes everything. Your self-esteem isn't really a measure of how good you feel about yourself. It's a gauge, a sociometer, constantly reading how included you are in the group and dropping the instant it senses distance. Feeling anxious in a room full of new people isn't a malfunction. It's your sociometer doing exactly what it evolved to do. Scanning for the tiniest signal that you don't belong yet. Feeling anxious in a room full of new people isn't a malfunction. It's your sociometer doing exactly what it evolved to do. Scanning for the tiniest signal that you don't belong yet. Here's where it gets stranger. Researcher Naomi Eisenberger ran brain imaging studies showing that social rejection activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain. The anterior cingulate cortex lights up whether you've stubbed your toe or been left out of a group chat. Your brain, quite literally, cannot fully tell the difference between a broken bone and a broken invitation. Why would evolution build it that way? Because pain is a teacher. Physical pain teaches you to pull your hand off a hot stove before your whole arm burns. Social pain was built to teach you the same lesson, faster than logic ever could. Don't wait to be exiled. Feel the sting the moment you're at risk of exile and adjust your behavior immediately. That's why the moment before you walk into a crowded room, your body doesn't wait for actual rejection. It rehearses the worst case in advance. Racing heart, sweaty palms, a flood of imagined judgments, all of it, thousands of years of evolutionary insurance against a single fatal outcome, being left behind by your only source of food, protection, and warmth. That's why the moment before you walk into a crowded room, your body doesn't wait for actual rejection. It rehearses the worst case in advance. Racing heart, sweaty palms, a flood of imagined judgments, all of it, thousands of years of evolutionary insurance against a single fatal outcome, being left behind by your only source of food, protection, and warmth. For most of human history, social anxiety wasn't a disorder. It was a skill. The most socially anxious members of ancient bands were often the ones most attuned to group dynamics, the first to notice tension, The first to smooth over a conflict before it turned violent. Evolutionary psychologists have proposed that a heightened sensitivity to social threat wasn't a weakness selected against. It was a form of vigilance selected for. Think about that. The trait that makes you replay a conversation at 2 in the morning, wondering if you offended someone, may be the exact same trait that once made your ancestors indispensable. The peacekeepers, the ones who kept 30 strangers from turning into 30 enemies. So why does it feel so miserable now? Because the size of the group changed, and your brain never got the memo. Your ancestors lived among maybe 150 people in their entire lifetime. That number even has a name, Dunbar's number, proposed by anthropologist Robin Dunbar, describing the cognitive limit on how many stable relationships a human brain can actually track. Now flip to today. You're not managing 150 relationships. You're managing a phone that pings you with opinions from thousands of strangers. Every like, every comment, every read receipt is processed by the exact same sociometer that once only had to worry about 30 people around a fire. No wonder it feels like too much. It is too much. Your alarm system was calibrated for a village. You're running it in a city of millions with a screen that adds new judges every time you refresh it. So what do you do with an ancient survival tool stuck in a world it was never designed for? You stop treating the anxiety as proof that something is wrong with you. It isn't a glitch. It's an inheritance. A tool passed down from every ancestor who needed to read a room correctly or risk being left in the cold, literally. You stop treating the anxiety as proof that something is wrong with you. It isn't a glitch. It's an inheritance. A tool passed down from every ancestor who needed to read a room correctly or risk being left in the cold, literally. The next time your heart pounds before you walk into that room, remember what that feeling actually is. It's not weakness. It's 50,000 years of humans who survived by caring, deeply, about whether they belonged. You're not broken. You're just descended from the ones who paid close enough attention to make it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Have a great day.